In this episode, you'll discover why imposter syndrome often gets louder right after you gain clarity in a transition and how to steady yourself when that happens. Welcome to the Midlife Reinvention Podcast, a podcast helping women in career and life transitions achieve clarity on their next steps so they can transform uncertainty into an energizing next chapter. I'm your host, Kavita Ahuja, and the founder of It's My Time Now Coaching. If you're wondering what's next in your career or life, you are in the right place. Through solo and guest episodes, you'll gain practical tips, tools, and inspiration to help you uncover blocks, gain confidence, and be, do, and have what you want. I rediscovered myself after the age of 50, and I know you can too. It's my time now to help you do just that. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome back to another mini episode of the Midlife Reinvention Podcast. If you listened to Monday's episode, we talked about why life and career transitions trigger imposter syndrome and self-doubt, and why clarity has to come before action if you want your next chapter to truly stick. Today, I want to talk to you about something that most women don't expect. Sometimes imposter syndrome doesn't show up at the beginning of a transition. Sometimes it gets louder after you decide you actually want to make a change. You might spend months quietly questioning whether you're still aligned in your current role, for example, and then one day you finally admit it to yourself. You acknowledge that you want something different. Maybe you even feel a sense of relief. And then, almost immediately, the doubt comes in. You start thinking, what am I doing? Maybe this is unrealistic. Maybe I was only successful because of where I was. It can feel like the moment you allow yourself to expand, your mind pulls you back. But here's what's happening underneath it all. When change lives only in your thoughts, it feels safe. But the moment you begin imagining it becoming real, when you picture yourself actually taking the steps, your body registers that as uncertainty. And uncertainty feels vulnerable. You're moving from something you've mastered into something you're still learning. That doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're stretching. So what do you do when that stretch feels overwhelming? First, slow your body down before you try to solve anything. When doubt spikes, your nervous system speeds up. Breathing shortens, and your thoughts become more dramatic than they need to be. Before you decide that your transition is a mistake, take a breath. Let your exhale be longer than your inhale. Put your feet flat on the floor. Let your shoulders drop. A calmer body makes wiser decisions than an anxious one. Secondly, remind yourself that your title is not your talent. It's very easy during a transition to think, if I leave this role, I'll leave my competence. But your judgment, your resilience, your leadership, and your ability to navigate complexity, those skills travel with you. You are not starting from zero, you're starting from experience. The environment may change, but who you are does not disappear. And thirdly, instead of trying to map out the entire next chapter, focus on one small aligned step. Not something dramatic, not something that proves your worth, just one thoughtful action that moves you slightly forward. That might be a conversation. It might be researching something you've been curious about. It might be setting aside time to reflect more deeply. Confidence doesn't appear before action. It grows because you take action, especially when that action is aligned with who you truly are. When I sat at my desk after leaving my corporate career and asked myself, now what? I didn't eliminate doubt first. I slowed myself down. I reminded myself of what I knew and what I had built over 25 years. And then I took one step, then another, not because I felt fearless, but because I felt clear enough. And clarity was enough to begin. So if you're in that space right now, where you know something needs to shift, but your confidence hasn't fully caught up, I want you to understand that this gap is normal. It does not mean you are incapable, it means you are in motion. So this week, don't try to fix everything. Calm your body, remember your strengths, take one aligned step. Let that be enough. And if even identifying that one step feels confusing or tangled, that's often a sign that you could benefit from talking it through in a more structured way. And I'm here for you for that. You don't have to navigate this alone. Imposter syndrome may walk beside you during growth. It doesn't have to lead. Until next time, my friend, remember that stretching into something new will almost always feel unfamiliar before it feels empowering. Stay with it.